evidence of the criminal, right?
Really?
Because I mean, the guy take off the total defense mechanism. They will say something more than you need.
Okay.
It is illegal.
Illegal?
I mean, and then for the criminology, only evidence can talk. So you cannot to use what the suspected talk to be the evidence of his crime or his, I mean, whatever he did, right? Yeah.
Wow.
It is illegal.
Okay, well, I really learned something here. So, in other words, if you were to ask this patient under anesthesia, like, give me the password to your bank account, will I be able to get that information?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I get it. This is so interesting because I've always wondered, about hypnotism.
Hypnotism, yeah.
Right, anesthesia,
right.
And or even this other thing. Well, this is a totally different thing. Analgesia, which is just getting rid of pain.
Right.
Well, that's different. The person's not under coma, so if you ask him for any secrets, he won't tell. That's different.
Yeah, different.
Because that's okay. Anyway, there's also this thing about regional anesthesia, and also what's the other one? Is general anesthesia.
Yeah.
General anesthesia is like the whole body is like asleep.
Right.
Right. But if it's regional, the person is totally awake, so that's something different, right? So that's where. And how does it's what's the difference there? I mean, how do you, or if you give a regional injection, okay, so it doesn't put the person to sleep. Okay. Anyway, I'm kind of answering my own question here. All right. Here's the thing. Okay? Let's get away from I don't know, this curiosity over me about what you can get out of people with anesthesia. What are the things you have to do to prepare someone for anesthesia? I think it's very, very important. It's also very dangerous if you don't do the right preparation, that there could be danger to the person's life, right?
Sure.
So beforehand. Now, I know I asked you beforehand whether a person's weight is really important because it depends. It would then depend on how much sedative you put, inject into the person, right? Because I've had a friend who was in the middle of a surgery and she woke up, and she told the doctor, said, "I'm awake," So yeah. So what happened there? Must be something went wrong, right? That she woke up so quickly, right, while the surgery is still going on.
Right. You just ask many questions, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I just answer one after one, right?
Okay.
The first, I mean, the preparation for a such patient, we need to know the organ function and the blood pressure, and if the patient have the major medical diseases, maybe DM, diabetes, or hypertension, or maybe the stroke previously, right? And then we need to know the lab data, biochemical study, for example, electrolyte balance and the blood coagulation profile. And then we will have an assessment score from 1 to 6 for, we say, the anesthetic score, anesthetic status. So I will give a score, then I will tell the patient and the family how much the risk the patient will have to undergo the surgery. So that's and the highest score means the higher risk the patient will have, right? And actually, every surgery need anesthesia. So basically, we don't turn down any surgery, but we will ask the surgeon and the patient, we better give the best preparation for the patient to receive the surgery. So if the blood pressure, for example, if the patient blood pressure is not well controlled, we may tell the patient and the surgeon to postpone the surgery.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
to give, the further control of the patient's blood pressure.
Right.
So this kind of thing is called the preparation for anesthesia. But basically, we don't turn down surgery. And for surgery, there is an elective and emergency. For emergency, we don't have time to prepare the patient, right?
Yeah.
We go ahead to tell the family and the patient that's a really risky for your family member to go through the operation.
Right.
So,
like if there was a car accident and you
right,
need
yeah, you're right.
Right
Many organ dysfunction,
Yeah.
yeah. So there will be a informed consent they need to sign, right?
Yeah.
But even there is a signed permission form, but it doesn't mean we can get away with any liability for the patient,
Sure.
So we need to do, we need to be vigilant. We need to be very careful during the operation.
Wow.
So that's the first question. And the second, you say, people, we aware of something during the operation, even when the patient is in coma, in sleep. Yes, it happens sometimes, especially, when we turn down, the anesthetic level.
Why would you turn it down?
But the patient still, the patient still cannot respond to any surgical stimulation because we give the patient muscle relaxant. So the muscle cannot move.
Okay.
All the body cannot move. But he knows in his brain. This kind of thing especially happen in the cardiac surgery when people go through bypass. So maybe we will give a very little anesthetics and the people will know something during the course, during the period.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in recent days, we know this kind of thing quite possibly happen in the period, right?
Uh-huh.
So we will give a sedatives during the stage. So, and this kind of awareness during anesthesia is a big issue in states. But I think it is something maybe cause the patient's post-traumatic syndrome disorder.
Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of the psychological trauma for some patients. So this kind of thing, happen. As to the dosage of the sedative or the anesthetics we give to the patient, based on the body weight.
Yeah.
But actually, there's a wide range.
Oh.
So we just ask the patient, the body weight, but we can still have a wide range to use the drug.
Right.
So, and in recent days, all anesthetics are quite safe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I think there is not a real problem in my career. So I think the better choice of the patients and better preparation for anesthesia could be the higher priority in our daily job, I think.
Yeah, why do I feel now after listening to you that actually this anesthesia,
Yeah.
what's the title for you? Anesthesiologist?
Yeah, anesthesiologist, yeah. When we
What a name.
pass the
Okay.
14 examination, we become anesthesiologist.
Okay,
Yeah.
anesthesiologist. Okay.
It's
It
quite
seems like
mouthful,
more
right?
important. Yes, very mouthful. Seems to me more important than the surgeon himself because of the preparation beforehand. You play a very, very big part, don't you think?
Yeah, you're right. But you need to face the truth. Surgeon always the team. Always a captain of the surgical team.
Yes.
We just, to help them to
Make the job easier.
make job easier and make job smoothly. We just prepare the patient well, then the surgeon can go smoothly. and eventfully. Yeah.
So it is very important.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Anesthesiologist.
But especially, when we face the patient with the unstable vital signs.
Yeah.
Just like a trauma, emergency case, the importance, the status of the position of the anesthesiologist will be, to lead to a higher
level.
Higher level, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's nerve-wracking. I mean, if the operation is 7 hours long, then that's how you're tense for those 7 hours, because you never know what's going to happen to the patient during the 7 hours of operation, right? And then there have been patients who you realize after you give them the sedative that they're actually allergic to it. Has that happened to you before? There are those who you turned out after you did all the preparation you need to know and need to do beforehand.
You're right.
But then the patient turned out to be allergic to whatever it was in the sedative.
Right. Yeah, we have this very specific complication in anesthesia. We say malignant hyperthermia. It's a very severe response to a drug, especially to the volatile anesthetics. You know, the breathing.
Okay.
Through the anesthetic breathing in. Yeah.
So there are different ways, right? There's injection and there's also.
Right. Yes. So, but I mean, recent days, I mean, the volatile anesthetics and the muscle relaxants don't give us so much trouble like old days. Yeah, malignant hyperthermia is the most severe complication in anesthesia. But some allergy, you know that, you say that, just because of some allergy, we will notice the hive and the erythematous spotting, but it will disappear. I mean, in a couple of hours. There's not a big problem. Yeah.
Oh, but okay. So yeah, I'd like to know what happens to a person after the operation, after the anesthesia kind of dies down, kind of like, goes away. What do people go through? Because my son had, he had this problem with like loud snoring. So he actually had a surgery before. And he was pretty old when he had this surgery. It was like when he was in Gaozhong Junior High School. So when he woke up, I guess he didn't know where he was. He wanted to fight. He was like really, getting offensive.
Right.
And they had to get 6 nurses to kind of like push him down. Right. So what happens when the anesthesia kind of dies down? Okay. What happens to a person?
All right, yeah. We always say, I mean, we compare the situation, just the plane landing and the patient outlook of the anesthesia. The same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to, I mean, the safety is what we concern, right? So, but if we want to have a smooth emergence from anesthesia. We say emergency, wake up from anesthesia, right?
Oh, okay.
We need to control pain. We need to decrease the anesthetic level.
That's your job too?
Yeah. And we need to wait for the muscle relaxant effect
to go away.
Wearing. Yeah.
Wear out.
Yeah, so wear off, yeah. So when everything is come together and say, there's a time we can remove the tube from his throat. But for your son's case, I mean, because maybe he received a tonsillectomy.
Yeah.
Above in the throat.
So you can't insert tube.
Yeah, it's painful, and especially there's a tube in the throat, so it enhanced the pain. So it made the scenes more complicated.
Yeah.
But so, and then your son is, I mean, a teenager.
Yeah.
Don't go through many life experiences. So most of them, they cannot tolerate any pain.
Right.
So very excited and very.
He was
sometimes
agitated,
very,
totally.
Yeah. So we need sometimes we can give some narcotics, to analgesics, or sometimes we can.
That's to kill the pain, though.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes we can give the sedative, and then when he come down, we can remove the tube. Yeah, smoothly. Yeah, that's it.
It's amazing. Do people lose memory when they come out of anesthesia? Is that that happened?
It's a big question, you know.
Because
I mean even now, we say, I mean, for the younger patients, maybe before preschool children, right? Any general anesthesia will affect their cognitive function somehow. more or less.
Really?
This is the major
Mystery?
not mystery, is a major study field right now.
Really?
And for the patient go through the cardiac surgery, we need a bypass. There are a lot of study. This I'm sure they have many micro. How do you say, the blood supply will not distribute evenly your brain, right?
Oh.
So there's some damage, very micro damage
Really?
of your brain. So people will recover from the surgery, but somehow the cognitive function will be damaged. I mean, more or less, but not that. But I mean,
Not in a major way.
Not in a major way, but yeah.
This is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So actually, I think if you don't need anesthesia, don't go through it.
Well, I'm sure who would choose to, come under anesthesia, but then your body kind of lights up with a red light and say that you need a surgery somewhere.
I mean, I just say, wait, maybe some surgery you can wait.
Oh.
Until the child older and the brain function is more mature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Chung, Robert, it's been really amazing, just having this interview and learning so much about the field of medicine that's just only opening up to me right now. So I appreciate this. This has really been amazing. So I appreciate, just all this information from you that I've learned so much. And I hope you continue to enjoy your work. Because we all need you. We all a patient at one time. So, but really appreciate this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you for watching, people. I'm Shirley Lin.